All right, Steelers Nation, gather round, because we've got a lot to unpack today. First things first, you all know this. Our team is constantly working to sharpen every edge, every detail, and every connection, because in Pittsburgh, the standard is the standard. Every offseason move, every training camp rep, every roster adjustment. It's all about putting the black and gold back where it belongs, deep in the playoff hunt. Chasing Lombardis, before we jump into the heart of today's big discussion, do me a favor. If you bleed black and gold, hit that like button right now. It helps this channel reach more members of Steelers Nation and lets me keep bringing you exclusive breakdowns straight from the pulse of Pittsburgh football. So, let's talk about this buzz that's been floating around camp earlier this week. Reports came out saying Aaron Rodgers was struggling to find chemistry with DK Metcalf and rookie wideout Roman Wilson. The word was, timing wasn't sharp, and the connection just wasn't there yet. And of course, in today's NFL, that became a talking point fast. But here's the twist. Heading into the preseason opener against the Jacksonville Jaguars, things started looking different. The connections started to click. The roots got cleaner. The trust started to show. Former Steelers lineman Willie Colon put it bluntly on the Why Willie Show with J.J. Williams. Aaron Rodgers looks expletive good in camp. For a guy who's 41 years old, he looked good. He looks really, really good. He looks in shape. The rest of the team is trying to get on his level. It's a young group, but everybody seems committed to the cause. This isn't just hype from a former player either. Steelers quarterbacks coach Tom Arth has been raving about Rodgers' lightning-fast release, his ability to read the field instantly, and even those classic wow throws on the run, the kind only a handful of quarterbacks in NFL history can pull off, and Rodgers is still doing it at 40+. The issue, as Colin pointed out, isn't Rodgers not being ready? It's the rest of the offense catching up to a Hall of Fame standard. This is a young group, and with Rodgers coming in mid-offseason, not in March, but in June, there's still chemistry to build. Now, while the offense is ironing out its timing, Mike Tomlin is making waves on the other side of the ball and Steelers Nation. This is where things get spicy. We all know the truth. This team hasn't won a playoff game since 2016. That's almost a decade without postseason glory, even though Tomlin has never had a losing season in his entire 18-year run. Impressive, absolutely, but enough. Not in Pittsburgh. That's why the defensive overhaul this offseason was huge. Tomlin himself is saying the defensive identity is front and center for 2025, and he's putting massive expectations on this group. His own words, you've got to be able to play matchup football. You've got to be able to play man-to-man, particularly versus the elite and deep groups. And the talent we've acquired at cornerback allows us to do that in all circumstances. Translation: the Steelers' secondary isn't going to be the weak link anymore. Leading the charge in that revamped DB room, Jalen Ramsey, still one of the nastiest shutdown corners in the league, even as he hits his 30s. Joey Porter Jr., the rising homegrown star who's already proven he can match up with elite receivers. Darius Slay, veteran savvy, and leadership. To go with elite man coverage skills on paper, that's one of the best corner trios in the entire NFL. But let's be real. The if they stay healthy conversation is a fair one. Ramsey and Slay aren't 25 anymore, and in 2024, the secondary struggled so badly that opposing quarterbacks were basically playing pitch hand catch on us. That's why the front office opened the checkbook and Tomlin is talking about man coverage. Against anyone, this defense is one of the highest paid units in football. Last year's collapse down the stretch, unacceptable, and the entire organization knows it. That's why the pressure is sky high right now. The pass rush, led by T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, and a deep rotation, is expected to dominate. The linebackers have more speed and flexibility. The secondary has star power and depth. The message is clear, no more excuses. This defense needs to be the kind of unit that not only keeps Pittsburgh in games, but wins them outright. Back to Rodgers for a moment. We're officially less than a month away from Week 1 against his former team, the New York Jets. You want storylines? That's a Hollywood script waiting to happen. But if this offense is going to click, the chemistry between Rodgers and his weapons needs to hit its stride fast. DK Metcalf's deep ball dominance. George Pickens' sideline artistry. Pat Friermuth working the seams, and Roman Wilson's speed. It's all there on paper, but paper doesn't win football games. Reps do. Trust does. Now, one of the biggest storylines out of Latrobe this summer has been the tight end room, and specifically, Pat Friermuth's growth in two key areas: blocking and understanding the offense. In an exclusive conversation earlier this week, Friermuth told me, "I would say my blocking and my knowledge of the offense. I think I've come a long way in the blocking department." That's not just lip service, folks. We've seen it in camp. Friermuth's footwork, his leverage, his ability to seal off defenders in the run game, all of it looks sharper. For a player who already has the hands and route running to be a top-tier receiving threat, becoming a more complete tight end makes him even more dangerous. And when I asked him how the mental side of the game has evolved, he didn't hesitate. "My knowledge of this offense should allow me to play faster." That's huge. Playing faster doesn't just mean running faster, it means reading the defense quicker, anticipating coverages, and getting to your spot in rhythm with Rodgers. The Rodgers factor. Let's not underestimate what having Aaron Rodgers in the huddle does for a player like Friermuth. We're talking about a quarterback who's seen every coverage, disguised blitz, and tricky safety rotation the league can throw at him. That experience rubs off on everyone, but especially on skill position players who thrive in timing-based, precision routes. Rodgers' ability to extend plays will give Friermuth more chances to break off his route and find soft spots in coverage. Add in his improved blocking, and the coaching staff can keep defenses guessing. Is he staying in to protect? Is he slipping out into the flat? Is he running a seam route? A tight end duo built for 2025, of course. Friermuth isn't doing this alone. Jonnu Smith is right there alongside him, coming off a Pro Bowl season and showing why he's one of the most athletic tight ends in the game. Smith's versatility allows offensive coordinator Arthur Smith to get creative, lining him up in the slot, out wide, or even in the backfield on certain packages. Here's where things get interesting. Friermuth could emerge as the true Tay1. In traditional sets, while Smith sees more snaps in wide receiver alignments, that means more mismatches, more opportunities for Rodgers, and more headaches for opposing defensive coordinators. Depth. That shouldn't be overlooked. Let's also give some love to the rest of this deep tight end group. Darnell Washington, at 6 feet 7 inches and 270 pounds, he's a nightmare in the red zone. His blocking is already elite, and his size gives Rodgers a massive target in goal line situations. J.J. Galbraith, the rookie, has been quietly making a name for himself in camp. Out of South Dakota, he's shown soft hands, good body control, and the kind of work ethic that coaches love. He's fighting for a roster spot, but don't be surprised if he sneaks onto the 53-man. Connor Hayward, the Swiss Army knife of the group. He contributes on special teams, can line up at H, and is capable of making clutch catches. Last season was a bit of a down year, statistically, but he's hungry to bounce back. Why this matters for 2025, if you've followed the Steelers the last few years, you know the offense has struggled with consistency. Injuries, quarterback changes, and a lack of explosive plays have all been part of the problem. But this year feels different. A loaded tight end room means Pittsburgh can run heavy sets without sacrificing passing options. Imagine Rodgers under center with Friermuth, Smith, and Washington all on the field. Is it a power run? Is it play action? Is it a quick-hitting seam route? That's the kind of unpredictability that wins games in the modern NFL. Blocking improvements also help the run game, opening lanes for Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren. That balance, being able to pound the rock and hit big plays through the air, is exactly what this team has been missing. The big picture, when you look at the 2025 Steelers offense, the tight end group stands out as one of the league's deepest and most versatile. Friermuth's growth is the glue that can hold it all together. His chemistry with Rodgers will be a storyline to watch, not just in the early weeks, but all season long. And remember, this isn't just about stats, it's about timing, trust, and making the right play at the right moment. Rodgers is going to demand precision, and from everything we're seeing in camp, Friermuth is ready to deliver. Here's where we're at. Steelers Nation. We've got a first-ballot Hall of Famer at quarterback, still making throws that drop jaws. We've got a reloaded, highly paid defense built to shut down any passing attack in the league. We've got a head coach who has never posted a losing season but is desperate to break the playoff drought. So the million-dollar question is, Can this all come together in time? Because the AFC isn't slowing down for us. The Chiefs, Ravens, Bengals, Bills, these teams are stacked. Every week is a dogfight, Steelers fans. This is where I hand it over to you. Do you believe Aaron Rodgers and the offense can get fully in sync before Week 1? And do you think this new-look defense is finally the group that can carry us deep into January? Maybe even to February? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read them all. And hey, if you're part of Steelers Nation and want more, exclusive breakdowns, rumors, and game previews all season long, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. This is going to be one wild ride in 2025, and we're going through it. Together, here we go, Steelers.